I'm here with a completely disassembled TMC, and I have everything strategically placed here on the table. So when I reassemble the marker, everything will get put back correctly and its proper place. So I've even taken the liberty of disassembling the shroud as well. So everything is completely dismantled. Now, it's a couple things I want to run over for those of you all like myself that are going to paint their TMCs a different color, or will maybe consider painting your TMCs. Just some things to be careful of. So I'm going to start with the magazine release. So this portion, the spring are all metallic. This is plastic. So for those, let me see if I can get a better view. There you go. So for those of you all that understand this, the more you take this on and off, the more likely you are to strip out this plastic piece and you won't be able to screw it in. So please be careful that if not, maybe find a metallic magazine release press button. Hopefully you can find them on the internet pretty cheap. I don't know, but just something to be careful of. And second thing, when I popped off the safety here, it's just held in place by this lock ring. But this also comes with a spring and a ball. Let me see if I can get a better view. And there it goes. So this is what holds that safety in place when you click it from fire to safe. So this popped out last night and I almost lost it when I took off that lock ring. Now, on the receiver here, there's a small groove right there, and that's for that spring and ball. But when you take the lock ring off the back, it has a tendency to fall forward, so you might lose it. Just be careful with that so that you don't have to try to order one specialty from Tmc Parts and then you're out of the game for a while. Please be careful with that. Another thing, I'm going to bring the shroud back into the photo here. This is all put together with self-tapping screws. For those of you all that had Alpha Blacks and Project Salvos, if you took the shroud and broke it in half, once you took the screws out, they were self-tapping. So the more you do this, just like what I stated earlier, the more you take the screws out, the more likely you are to strip the plastic and you won't be able to screw it back tight. So please limit the number of times you do this so that you can have a nice sturdy shroud and you don't have to worry about it coming apart. Now, something else some of us did back in the days with our 98s, Alpha Blacks, Project Salvos was polishing the internals. This is a little rough. This is a little rough where the linkage bar is. This is a little rough. And this is a little rough as well. Now, some people will argue the practicality of polishing the internals. Well, what is the improvements? Well, for those of us that played heavily way back when, we understood that these bolts would start to wear down from the constant rubbing. It's like rubbing this on sandpaper. After a while, you'll see scratch marks. You'll lose pressure, things like that on the burst when the air comes forward because these are wearing down and it's kind of a tight fit. Your O-rings would prematurely give out on you on these. And all of this from a simple solution where you could just take a Brillo pad and some soap and water and polish these for a couple of seconds and get rid of all that roughness. So, but it's an argument that's gone way back to the early 2000s. So really it's preferential. So that's all I got for those of you all that are considering painting.